Hello and welcome back. I'm Anna Dalman here to visit with you again, and my word of instruction for myself for today to fortify myself is honesty. In fortifying our lives, fortifying our characters, we need to be honest with ourselves and honest about others, and to do that effectively we need to be fair in how we assess them, how we characterize them, and how we respond to them. Only then are we in a position to be open and honest in the relationships we are pursuing or want others to know about us. So what does honesty look like in relationship? I have 5 points I've written down. To be respectful, that is, be aware of other people's strengths, weaknesses, seasons of their life, circumstances of their life, all of those things we need to be respectful of if they do not respond to us, cultural differences. Loyalty. Are you a faithful friend? Do you stick with a friend through thick and thin? Truthful. No deception. Do not be deceitful and present a false image of who and what you are, and that goes together with sincerity. To be genuine, no facade, no falsity, and to be the real you, who you are, your preferences, your likes, your dislikes. What is your life based on? Mine, as I've said before and mentioned before, is my relationship with God. And integrity. Do what is right, irrespective of what it may cost you. It may cost you your image or what other people perceive you to be. However, I think the greatest part of honesty is to say when you have been wrong, or when I have been wrong about something, and to let the chips fall where they should, and then responding to that and trying to build up from that is where people will see your integrity, your desire for honesty, your desire for respect, for loyalty, for truthfulness, sincerity, and integrity. That is a great draw card. Okay, so we have to work on all of that in our own lives and allow it to be the foundation of what all our friendships and relationships are built on. And you can't have honest friends if you're not strong and honest about your own life. Again, I did mention that sometimes people do have a season of life where they don't function very well for whatever reason. It could be image preservation, and it could be their own insecurities. It could be that your greater involvement in certain things exposes their lack of knowledge in a certain area or a lack of maturity, and that makes them seem foolish or ill-equipped for the role that they are standing in, and they then respond very unfairly towards you in a situation. That comes across as very critical. Yes, I know. I'm not trying to be critical. I've had that experience in my life where that was my observation of a situation, is that my understanding on certain things exposed other people's lack of it, and they weren't able to process that maturely in their lives. And rather than saying I don't know or I'm not equipped for this, they needed to preserve the image of being the person who was able to process things in a greater way or a better way or with more maturity and wisdom, and they caused a stinky situation. I'm not saying all of that out of a one-upmanship. I'm saying it out of compassion. Had they responded correctly at that time, my goodness, how much strife and difficulty that was left over and continued and continues would have been prevented. However, that is the reason I am stressing today the need for honesty. Though in that situation the person was not able to be honest, and in order to be victorious in their endeavor, they had to gaslight their community and were successful in doing so. How ugly. And all those character traits, were they respectful? No. Were they loyal? No. Were they truthful? No. Were they sincere? No, no. Did they have integrity? Do they have integrity? Oh, no. That is why the requirement for honesty and fairness, respectfulness, loyalty, truthfulness, sincerity, and integrity is so essential. We need to make sure that we are establishing that deep. We need to know those values that we're standing on and which we're willing to defend and hold as true and right for our lives. And in doing all of that, when people come across our paths who don't have or are not as established in that, we need to hear them fairly, deal with them fairly, so that they too may have the opportunity to grow. Not that we are perfect, we're not, but that they too may have the opportunity to change and grow. So we all need to remember to be honest. Have a good day, and I will speak with you tomorrow. Bye-bye.